You know that feeling, that little whisper that says there's more to you than meets the eye? A deeper truth just waiting to be discovered? Well, today we're going to explore a tool that's basically a map for that exact journey, a map to your inner world. So let's dive in. There's this really powerful story in Christopher Hewitt's book, The Sacred Enneagram. It's about a young girl visiting a beloved priest named Father Gillick, who happens to be blind. And as she's looking at him, it just hits her, and she says, "You don't know what you look like." And before he can even answer, she adds so softly, "You're beautiful." And that story, wow, it just holds such a profound truth for so many of us, doesn't it? When it comes to our own identity, it's like we have our own kind of symbolic blindness. We live with what some call a false self, this collection of masks and stories we've built up that actually hides our true nature. And it keeps us from seeing the beauty that's been there all along. So you might be wondering, how do we even build these masks in the first place? Well, it starts when we're really young. We start piecing together our sense of self based on the world around us. And the identity we create, it can be pretty fragile because it all depends on things that are constantly changing. Christopher Hewitt talks about these three powerful lies we often buy into. The first one is, I am what I have. You know, my stuff, my relationships, that steady job. The second is, I am what I do, my accomplishments, my career, all the good I'm trying to put into the world. And the third, which is a big one, is I am what other people think about me. The praise, the reputation, that validation. Now, don't get me wrong, these things aren't bad, but they're not who we are at our core. They're just fragments of a much, much bigger picture. So if we're kind of lost in these illusions, how do we find our way back? This right here is where the Enneagram comes in. And it's so important to know it's not a test to put you in a box. Think of it more like a map, a guide to help you find your way home to your most authentic self. The word Enneagram, it's pronounced Enneagram, literally just means a drawing with 9 points. It comes from the Greek words ennea for 9 and gram for drawing. Now, the symbol itself is ancient, but its modern psychological use has been developed by so many brilliant teachers like Don Rizzo, Russ Hudson, and Renee Barron, and their work informs a lot of what we're talking about today. So what's really cool is how this symbol visualizes the whole system. The Enneagram lays out 9 basic personality types, but these aren't just labels for how you act. No, they go way deeper. They represent 9 core strategies we developed, usually in childhood, to cope, to feel safe, and just to navigate the world. And each one of us tends to lean on one of these core strategies more than the others. All right, so let's meet the 9 travelers on this map. Each type has its own unique way of seeing the world, a core motivation driving it, and a really particular path for growth. So here they are, the 9 types, each with a couple of common names. You've got the principled reformer, the caring helper, the driven achiever, the expressive individualist, the perceptive investigator, the committed loyalist, the fun-loving enthusiast, the protective challenger, and the agreeable peacemaker. But remember, these names are just doorways. The real magic happens when you start to understand the deep inner motivations behind each one. And this just perfectly illustrates how these types show up in real life. I love this cartoon. It's from the book The Enneagram Made Easy, and it shows all 9 types at a dinner party. You can see the type 1 thinking, not enough food groups represented here. The type 3 is already thinking, I need to eat and run, I'm swamped. And the 5 is just relieved, thinking it's a talkative group. Good, that gets me off the hook. It's such a great reminder of how different our internal worlds can be, even when we're all in the same room. But here's the thing. The map doesn't just show you where you are right now. It also shows you where you can go. And this is an absolutely crucial point about the Enneagram. It's a dynamic system. You are not stuck in your type. See, each type has 2 lines connecting out from it, and these represent 2 key paths. The first is called the direction of integration or growth. When we're feeling secure and relaxed, we naturally start to take on the healthy qualities of that connected type. The second path is the direction of disintegration or stress. When we're under pressure, we tend to adopt the unhealthy traits of the other connected type. These diagrams show you exactly what I'm talking about. Those lines on the symbol, they aren't random at all. They trace these very specific paths for each number. So for example, a healthy type 1, the perfectionist, integrates toward the healthy side of type 7. They become more spontaneous, more joyful, but under stress, they might disintegrate toward the unhealthy side of type 4, becoming moody and withdrawn. And the really important thing to get here is that this move towards stress isn't some kind of failure. As Hortz puts it, it's like a flare signal. It's our own psyche's way of shouting, hey, something's wrong here, time to pay attention. It's basically a built-in alarm system, and it's designed to help us become more self-aware and get back on track. Which brings us to the whole point of this map, really. It's not about finding your label and just staying put. It's about starting a journey of coming home. The real power of the Enneagram isn't in saying, oh, I'm a 4 or I'm a 9. The power is in using that knowledge to finally see the masks you wear, to understand your automatic reactions, and then to consciously choose a different path, one that leads you back to your authentic, essential self. You know, it kind of reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy and her friends go on this huge, epic journey to find what they think they're missing, only to find out it was inside them the whole time. The Enneagram doesn't give you anything new. It just helps you uncover the wisdom and the courage and the heart that are already a part of you. So why does all this matter? Well, taking this journey with this map, it offers some pretty profound benefits. It leads to a much deeper awareness of your own patterns, for sure, but also greater compassion for yourself, for why you are the way you are. And it leads to a much better understanding of the other people in your life. It really gives you a clear, practical path toward becoming a more whole, integrated, and free person. In the end, the Enneagram is just a tool. It's a map left behind by others who've walked this path. The journey itself, that is uniquely yours. So the only question left is, what might you discover when you decide to take that first step home?